It's awful. Let's go. This should work. I've seen better days and this is the wrong map. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to get off Twitter right now.
Not a bad idea.
There we go. You guys can see those stats. Ooh, 200 sub points. Yeah, this is grabbing the wrong page of everything. So, properties. No. There we go. Found you. Found you.
There's something called the Mask of 1,000 Tomes. Ooh.
Yeah. Little did you know, Balthar was white all along, and Jerrod's black, and Deia's a creepy man.
Oh shit! This would have been perfect for fucking what's it called?
Perfect for fucking
Desmond. It gives you a +10 bonus on all your knowledge skill checks, but you're blind while you wear it. That'd be super cool.
Why'd the dice not work?
Hold on, I need to take a closer look at what this might be. Puts on the blindfold. Oh yeah, I know what that is.
Ah yes, I can see it even better now.
I can see
Clearly.
now that my vision's gone.
When did Balthar become white? Oh man. He's been transitioning for a while.
I have a hunch that we're in the wrong spots, but
No, you're totally wrong.
so we're in the right spots?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the right spot, baby. Man, I'm gonna have to tell Kirk
I look
that
over its stream and I just disappear.
Kirk's gonna have to mix some things up here because, unfortunately, as it stands, we've got Klaus, who's a cardboard cutout, is being separated. Like, it's 3 white guys, a cardboard cutout, and then the black guy in the back, and it's just, it is not okay.
Look, we're sending a message that you're obviously okay with. That's what that means.
Well, that's the wrong bit boss, so I don't know what happened to my bit boss. Remove.
Oh no, the bit boss got deleted. Oh no.
Oh no, it's just a browser source. Let's look at it. Oh, it's already back up.
God damn it, bub. Zao doesn't need more points.
What are you talking about? Zio gets all the points.
Where the fuck did I put my phone?
I don't know.
Oh, let me go find that real quick. Oh, no, I remember where I put it.
SS did get his rat bag, didn't he?
Yeah, you gave it to him. He actually, he came back in and thought that it was just natural rep gen that he got back. And he's like, wow, how much did people donate for me to get this much rep back? And I was like, no, Sniper. And he goes, yeah, no, it'll be great when Sniper gives me my rep back, but, you know, if he doesn't, it's whatever. And I'm like, no, it was Sniper. He's like, oh, thanks.
Oh! All the light just fades from his face. He just... Oh. Ah.
Wizard, Cicada no longer exists. That's what you missed.
It's true. It's true.
I would recommend going back and watching the last episode because it was really intense. But that's just me.
Yes, it was super... Oh, no.
Hit Sniper with everything, he's broke. I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't really know if that would be beneficial to anyone.
Not quite broke, but I'm definitely not sitting pretty like I used to be.
Well, I did pass out Patreon rep too, so you do still have that. That is still a thing. All right, cats, I'm going to go ahead and get a tweet out. It's going to be up to you cats to retweet. If we reach 20 retweets, I will give luck rerolls to my players.
Time to pull up Twitter.
Chest slot items are generally like armor, right?
Yes.
Or is it just like chain shirts and stuff like that?
Chest slot is like breastplate or something similar.
That's what I was thinking.
It's going to be up to you guys to retweet this. Remember that there are at least 4 of you in-game, and you guys all have Twitters. So you're taking out like 20% of the challenge yourself.
Get that twat on.
Shackled City, episode 108 is live. Cicada
shit.
is dead.
Hey, Bub, I'm gonna send this to you. Is this
Like,
cool?
forever dead.
Here, Bub.
Come find
Take
out.
a super quick look at that real quick.
Hold on. I'm just informing the world that Cicada died.
Yeah.
Cicada Mega died. I've seen better days.
Also, you did have the chance to read my chicken scratch, right?
No.
Oh.
No, you've got physician writing.
You should see what my teachers say.
No.
It's great.
I can imagine they're like, "What? I can't fucking work with this bullshit."
I can write nice. Like I could write in cursive, but
Yeah, but I understand that it's hard to do that, like when you're trying to write quickly and get notes and stuff down.
yeah, I was just kind of writing to write, and it just kind of happened.
Who was in this photo? This is gonna be Lobos Jr. Yep. Xander, who for some reason has a Z as opposed to an X. That's another thing we're gonna have to talk about when you start streaming. Can't have Z's and X's.
Okay.
You gotta brand unification.
Never mind. That item I sent you don't even need to look at. It's for a gun mage.
The Snooper Duper, or is it just Sniper Goat?
The Sniper Goat.
Okay, then why the fuck can't I find it? There we are.
Search me.
InYouEndo has that fucking same picture, and red is just a color.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even tag Will. Splodes. Sploder. Alright, cats. The tweet is out. Copy link to tweet. Here it is! Tweet it up! For every... Let's see. For 20 retweets, we'll get a luck reroll. If we hit, like... Let's see. I'll give them a luck reroll at our sub count. And for every 2 patrons. So, while this is happening, we can start doing a bit of a recap. We can begin recapping the events that happened last time and discuss these things. The importance of those things in said story, and what it actually means to you guys. Who's going to start us off with a recap?
I'll do that.
Cool. What happened last time on Shackled City?
We ended up waking up in... Sorry, let me get my notes real quick. We ended up waking up in the cave. As we woke up, we noticed all the little goblins from, I believe her name was
Wart, yes.
All her and her little babies were gone.
Yes.
We heard screeching outside, and noticed that she had the largest, the rocks that were there.
Right.
Essentially saddled up with a special kind of saddle that would help her control the flight path of the bird itself. From there, we ended up talking just to make sure that we talked about quite a few things. Me trying to figure out my past and how I connect to those birds themselves.
So why is that relevant for the story's sake? For people that are watching at home, if they've never seen, why are you at Rockham Ridge or Rockholm Ridge, and why is what's the point of your backstory at this particular location? Cliff note for us.
Essentially the clan that I used to belong to exiled me when I was a baby bugbear because they thought I was weak. I ended up surviving and finding out that the former bugbear clan that I used, or the goblinoid clan that I used to be a part of, used to ride these rocks as mounts, as battle mounts, in a sense, for raiding, but they were killed off at one point. I ended up getting taken in by the wardens, and Wart was the one who's been telling me that I'm somehow tied to these animals in some way, and kind of like my father's before his passing, kind of withheld a lot of this information from me.
Now, what reason... someone else answer this. Just out of curiosity, Sunn, Deia, or Jerrod, why do you think he would have done that? Why do you think he would have withheld this information from Balthar?
I'm thinking that his father is the one that ended the Bugbear clan, personally speaking.
Okay, so speculation, he was the ender of that clan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, alright. Any thoughts, Deia?
I think that Balthar's father, adopted father, thought it would protect him. That whatever it was that was his true backstory could hurt him, but can't tell him how, because he'll go in search of it.
Alright, anything from Sunn?
I'm pretty much in the middle of what both of them just said. Like, I feel like he did tell him to protect him, but at the same time, like Ronald said, destroyer of clans. So, like, you know, middle ground.
Sure.
Wow, my new name is Ronald?
My bad, yeah. Sniper.
How do you like it?
Yeah, you are now Ronald.
It's
All right, everyone, switch character
independent
sheets.
black woman.
Oh, God. Welcome back, Mazunga. Welcome back, everybody. Guys, this is episode 108 of Shackled City. Remember, if you want to get them a luck reroll for the evening, kick off on that tweet. Let's get some traction behind it. And
Let that twerk.
That's right. That's right. If you could do that, then we will find ourselves in a luck roll. What do we have? Lucky one.
Wondrous items are just so damn cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of them.
I love them. I can get gloves and then wrist, right? As long as it's not two of the same type.
No. They're occupying the same slot.
So wrists and hands are.
Yeah, it's basic. I mean, you could have like a wrist bracelet.
Yeah,
you
that's what I was thinking.
Gauntlets and get cuffed, but more often than not, they would typically occupy the same slot.
Okay.
How long to fill up the Bane and Boon? Zaya, we are going to run the Bane and the Boon until the end of the month. If nothing happens at the end of the month, then I get to choose something to happen, and it will generally not be in a positive ailment. Element? Element.
Yeah.
It will not be a positive element. Generally, it's going to be a Bane that will prevent storyline from being discovered. Where there are things about Balthar, Jerrod, Deia, and Sunn, you guys won't get to find out about them unless the Bane or the Boon have been met. And the Bane and the Boon may not always come out, in this case, positively or negatively. It may be something that could be like a flip. So if you guys vote for a Boon, I could give them something that I would view as incredibly positive, and knowing my players, they'll make it something incredibly negative.
We're pretty good at doing that.
Yes. I've given them a true resurrection before.
Yeah, and he brought me back to life, which was the worst idea.
And you died.
And then I died.
And he died, that's right. Guys, if you would, you can actually fill the well by dropping in a wish. I'll go ahead and drop in 1,000 myself right now. After a few moments, if it gets spammed, for whatever reason, the bot doesn't like it if you guys spam it. But once you drop in a wish, you will get a reflective, a little bit of token back for you there. So mine is create your own stage. The audience is waiting. Ooh, that's fitting. That's fitting. Everything happens for a reason, Sloth. Everything happens for a reason.
It's the same one I got.
Oh, we also forgot to mention, we ended up finding Ebron, and he was mind controlling a lot of the wardens.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the combat last time. What happened there?
We found out that we need parachutes.
As we ended up landing, we jumped down, with the exception of Jerrod, who got impaled on a huge boar.
Yeah.
The rest of us ended up engaging on Ebron, and he ended up throwing a gem that released phase spiders from it. They look like a crystallized form of like basalt powder that we've been seeing pop up every once in a while.
Yeah.
As it split open, a bunch of phase spiders started coming out, and Cicada and Deia. Were essentially the ones holding them off while Jerrod kind of took on the boar on his own. After he was able to get off the boar's tusk, he ended up helping Deia and Cicada for a bit. But during that time, Cicada ended up getting trampled on and then impaled, which ended up killing him. But even during that fight, he ended up coming back as what I would assume some form of zombie or undead form. And
Okay.
he was able to help slay the boar and some of the phase spiders, not all of them apparently, that came to the gem. When I was fighting Ebron, he ended up holding an artifact known as Gaia's Limb.
Yeah.
That was essentially the heart of the Citadel.
So what is Gaia's Limb? Like it just sounds like a stick.
No, it's magic. Essentially, it's a magical artifact that radiates a lot of divine energy, or I guess nature magic in this case, and it's quite powerful. Essentially, it gives you the ability to know anything about nature in terms of creatures or environment. It has the ability to mass produce certain foliage that's around you as well. And when you use it as a bow, it splits off into 4 additional arrows that strike the target.
Yeah, it splits your arrows. So this is kind of like a toolbox item, right? Like this has got so many unique abilities about it. What is preventing you from keeping this yourself?
If I choose to keep the item, the Citadel and all the life around the Citadel will start to die. So essentially, everything that I was trying to prevent would happen anyway.
Okay, so you know that you've got to get it back.
Correct.
All right, sounds fair.
After combat, during combat, Ebron was essentially trying to egg me on to keep fighting, and I guess kind of trying to get me angry, I guess. We ended up killing him, or at least Deia ended up killing him. And even after he was dying, he was still blaming me for him not being, I guess, the chosen of the wardens. So he kind of tried to brand me as a monster, but Balthar saw him as the monster since he was the one who was willing to kill not only his people but the land around him for power.
So do you think that he was acting with motivation to get back at you? Was it all about spite for him, or was there something more at play there?
So at least from what I've seen, I won't have those answers essentially because he ended up dying to begin with.
Right.
But even as he was dying, he was still kind of resentful towards me. So I mean, that's all I could assume at this point.
Definitely.
So as far as I know, I mean, even in spite of having the black powder that covered him, that turned him, I guess, evil to begin with. Right. I won't know if even as he was dying that power left him and he was still kind of fueled by it or not. So it's kind of like a ambiguous thought that's always going to be left there. He'll never really know the actual truth behind it.
Well, in regards to the dust and whatnot, I tend to think that it didn't necessarily make him evil, but I definitely think it attaches to those negative feelings and enhances them.
Yeah. At the end of all that, Papa Legba came back and...
Did he now?
Yes.
Well...
Was collecting on a deal that him and Cicada had made, where he would die, he would take his soul. But the dragon, and let me see if I remember the name right. me just a second. I'm going to find it right now.
So many notes.
There were a lot of notes, a lot of things unfurled, right? Like this wasn't just a predicament that was a casual encounter. This was a large portion of Balthar's backstory. So a lot of things unfurled, and it also tied in tightly to Cicada, who's been a prominent member of the game for a very, very long time.
I actually don't know. I wrote it down. I just don't see it.
So he was the voice.
He was like a platinum dragon, right? Like his scales or something like that were like...
Sort of. He was a wingless dragon.
He was a Chinese dragon.
That's right.
Wyvern? Or not, a worm? Worm?
Kind of similar. This guy was regarded as the voice. Who did he work for?
I can't remember her name, but it's basically King Yama, but for the D&D world.
King Yama. I mean, you're not wrong, I suppose.
It's the female equivalent of him. Basically, you go to hell after you get there. You sit in a waiting lobby for a while. It's kind of like the DMV, but worse.
The DMV.
No, it wasn't.
And then she determines whether or not you go to heaven or hell. She personally does not like Cicada at all in the slightest, because
why?
Cicada's kind of a dick when it comes to the whole dying thing.
So you personally think that Pharasma has a bone to pick with you?
Pharasma, there you go.
Just a bit. It could be the fact that I died the first time,
okay,
came back to life, died again, and now Papa Legba was holding on to my soul. So she's kind of not okay with that. As like a general thing.
Okay.
I managed to piss off gods in every campaign. It's great.
Alright, so what do you guys think? Curious enough, what do you guys actually believe here? Do you think that Pharasma actually had she had it out for Cicada the entire time? Do you think a god? Not
that she had it out for him, but at his core, at the base of everything that Cicada is, she judged that he was an evil man, or at least one not worthy of ascending into the realm of what we would call heaven. So she's judging him in the context that he's going to be damned for hell because of that.
Okay, so she's mad.
Yeah, I don't think it's a personal vendetta, but I mean, it's essentially like that's just how she sees him, and that's the verdict she's going with, from what you told us. Yeah,
so she sent this guy out, or maybe he came of his own volition. Either way, he's come out and he has collected the soul of Cicada. You're right, someone else was there. That particular someone was Papa Legba. He was not exactly to be trifled with. However, you guys thought that, hey, we're badass enough, let's do verbal debacle with a demigod. A trickster demigod that makes deals with the devil. So that was on the table. I thought that was interesting. As opposed to, actually, it was particularly Jerrod. Jerrod thought he was tough stuff, and he was going to try to wheel and deal with the devil.
Yes. The dragon, Pharasma's guardian.
Yes.
Also stole experience from us, like life experience.
Yeah, he's a siphon. He's a siphon on the living. Hence why he lives in the boneyard.
Yes, and we lost 2 levels off of that. So essentially, the deal is if we help Legba collect on his debt that's owed to him, he will grant us back our experience that was stolen, that was siphoned from us in that regard.
Yeah, save that we'd have to go to the boneyard butt naked.
Yeah. You guys clearly see that the only way to enter is not through your physical form, but through a pseudo astral projection. You know that it's going to take your souls traveling to the boneyard.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You can do that. You can go to the boneyard, especially now that you've been given passage. He said soon. Make it soon. And after giving him a lot of shit, basically this guy shows up, clearly willing to wheel and deal, and he's like, I'll help you get your levels back, but you gotta help your friend. This sounds like a win-win to me. What do you guys think? Sunn, what do you think? Is this just a clear win?
Papa Legba always has some reason for his to foster his own game. I'm pretty sure he just wants Sakata because fuck King Yama, basically. Like he just wants to like give her the middle finger and say, yeah, this is my soul.
Okay.
You can fuck right off.
All right. How about you, Deia? What do you think?
I feel like he's willing to do the right thing because he's got some kind of outgoing quarrel with the spirit goddess, and he's willing to get us to do anything to do his bidding. That's my guess. Or either that, or he's not telling us something that he should be, and we're gonna owe him our souls eventually. But I mean,
That's right. Karami brings up a good point. He says he was also very meta about telling them about levels. Which I had to say that out of game because you guys just weren't getting it. You just weren't picking up on the details.
Yeah, you were like, Lego
I actually found it
still part of your life.
I found it really funny because I knew exactly what you were talking about, but I was like, I'm dead, so I don't care. But they get it, right? Right? Right?
Well, yeah, you didn't care because you were fucking dead. You were coming back
No,
as a new
but
character.
I picked up exactly what you mean. I'm like, okay, cool. They lost their life force. They lost their strength. And then they're like, oh, cool, we're fine, right? And I'm like, no. No, we're not.
Far from okay.
But yeah, after we, I guess the majority of us agreed to go help, he ended up leaving. He left us a horn, a skeletal horn, I believe, to call him, so that way he could take us when we were ready to go. And then that's where essentially we finished, where we were going to get all the wardens corralled together and take them back to the Citadel.
Right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you guys have you got some work ahead of you. Boys, this is Shackled City.
Another log on the fire.
108, yeah. That's the best way to say it. It's another log on the fire. It's...
Oh, and we have 4 days left before we need to meet at Red Gorge.
Yes, you do have express passage.
Yes.
It's like fast passes at a theme park.
Yes.
It's by rock. And not what he's cooking. You don't have to smell it. You just gotta fly via rock, make your way all the way to Red Gorge. Do you remember why you're going to Red Gorge? Just curious. I know it's been a while.
We need to meet up with
we
Alec, but he wasn't the one. It was Sarshan? Delishan?
I thought that was the only place in the city that had a White Castle.
No.
It is. We've been on this trek.
Yeah, Sarshan Delishan was the one that told us we needed to meet. We needed to meet in Red Gorge because they were going to go over
it was
some
not.
information.
It was not Sarsam Delisharn.
But,
it was someone else. Sakata was
the gnome cap guys.
Sakata was quite intimate with this particular person. He was very offended by Sakata's actions.
Oh yeah, it was the Mavu.
Yes,
that's
it was
right.
Mavu.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's actually right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Sakata's biggest fan at one point. And now he's upset with me for some reason. I couldn't figure out why.
He's upset with Sakata, but he's dead, so it doesn't matter anymore. Right? You can stop.
Well, it's not like you may have been a little cold about his kid.
Look, in my respect, I had just come back from the dead. So I was kind of numb to the whole, oh, my daughter has died! Like, oh, come on, bro. It's fine.
But no, we've got to go ahead and talk to Mavu because his friend Alec has challenged my brother to a duel to the death.
Yeah.
Yeah, under founders' rights. And yeah, I don't necessarily want that to happen.
There's a lot going on. If you're watching at home right now, this is your first time in. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, we're only like, what, 108, 109 episodes in?
Yeah. Now, I've got to correct your stat blocks. Your stat blocks are currently wrong. But that's just another thing, another log on my pile. I'm actually going to make note of that because I knew that I'd forgotten something.
Actually, just looked. I was like, no, he updated mine, right? And then I looked and I was like, 20 strength. Ooh, that's not right.
Update stat blocks.
Damn it, Kirk!
That's me. That's all me.
We can blame it on Kirk, though.
Strength character.
I don't want to hear him crying in pain every 2 seconds. Rip. So, yeah, guys, that's where you ended. Technically, the floor is yours. The people behind you, at the sight of the voice, they basically, like, their lives were siphoned to the point that they're unconscious. They went unconscious. Some of them were trainers. Some of them are barely, like, crawling. But I would say most of them, the younger few, are unconscious.
Alrighty. Looking up, can I see Wart and the Rock still flying about?
Yes, you can see them cycling. It will take a while for them to cycle back because obviously they don't want to be down there. So
yeah,
they were allowing you to cycle back, or they were cycling back, so it would give you enough time. She will fly back around in just a few minutes.
Alrighty. When she does, I'm keeping an eye out, but I mean, I'll walk over to the rest of the people that are unconscious and check to make sure that they're okay.
Okay. Bub, do they have potions? I don't know, actually. I know that Sunn will have potions. Lots and lots of potions.
Sunn? Maybe like 1 or 2 at a time.
No, I don't have any.
Does Jerrod have any potions?
No, Jerrod burns through potions like nothing else.
It's because you're an addict.
Shut up.
Look, we're bringing you to AA at some point.
We're not talking
That's
about
the real
this
reason
tonight.
we're going to Red Gorge. It's your...
Yeah.
When we're gonna get to Red Gorge, it's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna need you to sit down, Jerrod. We brought all your friends and your family, and we're here to talk.
Listen, when we get back to Cauldron, we can go ahead and talk about Betty Ford. But until then, focus.
Yeah,
Deia.
making sure everyone...
Yeah.
Do you have potions?
I have a couple.
You have a couple. Okay. Before we spring into it, there were 2 quirks that were thrown into the game. I'm going to go ahead and get those out now, so you guys can deal with those accordingly. They are affecting Jerrod and Balthar. Jerrod and Balthar. Remember, guys, you can counter these if you'd like. For the duration of the session, Jerrod and Balthar, you are afflicted with the same exact quirk. You will demand equal shares for your invisible friend, or in this case, for Cicada.
So Cicada gets twice as much as everybody else.
Yeah, you better make sure that you hold that loot for me, because I'm really going to need it when I come back from the dead again.
We need to hold it for him. He came back once, he can do it again. We need to put it aside, put it in his room that we need to keep. At least half the room.
Yeah, just give it to Griffin. He'll hold on to it for me.
Yeah, that's awful. 2 cure mod to Balthar and to Jerrod. Jerrod also gets 5 more cure mod. So Jerrod, you get 7 cure moderate.
Jeez, now we can just buy pots without any limitation.
I want to push them down a hill just so that they all break.
No, this is like remember, this is basically like it's equipment that will appear in your backpack. It's supposed to be.
We get the 3 divine healings.
I am so glad I picked up his backpack.
How much is it to counter the orc?
It's going to be 3,000 reputation.
I don't know why, but in my mind I thought you were saying that you wanted to fight
Counter
the
the potions?
Yeah, I was like, damn, Ronald.
Hey, Osik, what's going on, man? Yeah, it is Witcher music. The Witcher theme and music is very, very good for a lot of high fantasy games. Xander is countering the quirk, and that's fine. That's fine. Balthar wasn't particularly too attached. He wasn't really too attached to Cicada. They were, I mean, really in the grander scheme of things, they'd only been working for like, what, maybe 4 or 5 days together?
No, it would have been a few weeks. At least I think.
Maybe a week and a half at best.
It's been however long Balthar is with the party. It
I
was
also just
since
don't want to take unnecessarily from the team by mistake, so.
It was when we went down to the Toad Dungeon, so.
I met him like the same day. So it's like, well, you guys can have the gear.
Mhm.
Yeah,
this
that's-
isn't my friend.
That's not been that long. You guys were actually on the road longer than you were together, so
It's true.
it would have been 5 days, 2 more days, so that's 6, 7.
So like 2 weeks.
2 days
at
in
most.
town, 8, 9,
He's known Cicada about as long
10,
as I've
11.
known Bob.
12. 12 days.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
2 weeks. Cool. Just short.
But yeah, going back to what I was doing,
Okay.
everyone's alive. Like no one seems hurt or anything like that.
Well, yeah, actually, you would see that Jerrod seems a little worse for wear. He has basically a hole puncture right through his armor, and it looks like he's been snapping down some potions or trying to heal it up as much as possible. But he has a giant hole punch in his armor and his chest cavity.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of usual for the fighter, but I've got blood coursing down one leg, and I'm covered in boar's blood.
I'll give him both of my cure mods. I'll start kind of ruffling through my bag. Here, I don't know how serious everything is, but hopefully these will help. And I'll hand him both cure mod.
You're a scholar and a gentleman.
Can I
All right.
get a cold shot to shoot through the hole without hitting him?
I will fucking end you, bitch.
I mean, oh god,
I
any.
don't actually want to do it.
I was like,
I want to know if it was possible.
yeah, I mean, you could.
Anything is possible
Yeah.
in Pathfinder.
Anything, that's right, anything is possible. Who do we lose?
Such as the ensuing, death when you do this.
We lost Red. Red, you should
What?
probably pop open Roll20 when you get a chance.
Oh yeah, I haven't got in yet, so because I'm still doing all this. I was gonna hop in whenever I finish this character.
So
yeah,
now
seeing
Jerrod has
as he-
9 potions. How long till he chugs them all for his addiction? Not long.
For a
No,
second.
he is about to chug too.
It's as you say that, he's basically hand in bag, just slowly sipping on them.
Well,
Sorry, what?
do recall these just appear in the bag. He's
Mhm.
only lifted the backpack and put it on. He
There you
hasn't
go.
checked inside yet, so those 7 are going to just be sitting there. But the other 2 cure mods, yeah, those go down nice and sweet.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Just, oh god.
As he's drinking those in, I'll try helping him up, seeing if he still has any trouble kind of moving about.
Cool. It got a little intense there for a second, just listening to him really enjoy scarfing down a potion. But, what's new?
Well, he's checking the potion, licking the inside of the bottle, scrubbing
got
at
his-
his teeth
yeah,
with
his-
cork.
His pinky is on the inside trying to get the rest out. Remember that this is going to... This isn't going to, fix everything that is about your character, right? This is essentially...
That's a lot to fix.
It's going to squanch the wound down, tighten up the skin so it can kind of heal over, and it starts to heal up a little bit, but it doesn't remove scars. It's not going to fix your armor. It's not going to remove the memory of you being impaled like a kebab.
Oh no. I'm just pleasantly distracted for the time being with that warm sensation of healing. And that sweetness of the potions just oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Are you able to stand? Or do you look better than you were before?
I just cut your friend almost in half. I'm a little winded. I'm not going to sit down anytime shortly.
All
I'm
right.
kind of rifling through Red's body and things. But no, I can stand.
All right. I'll at least help him over to one of the fallen pillars. So if he has to kind of lean against it or sit down on it, he can do that.
Okay.
After that, I'll start kind of rounding up the people and checking them to making sure that they're alive still.
Most of them seem fine. They've been through the thick of it. They
Alrighty.
have seen they've seen a lot of shit. It's not often that this occurs. This isn't like a weekly bout. You know what I mean? This is a little intense to have some kind of upheaval from inside of the temple, inside of the Leven Citadel. So, yeah, this is kind of intense for them. And they're all kind of jarred. Some of them are very shaken. Some of them seem to just kind of have this almost 1,000-yard stare.
As they start coming to, then can I control Gaia's bow to like have it grow a vine so at least I can hold on, like it can hold on to my back, or like make like a sling, a natural sling with it?
Aren't you a natural archer?
Yeah, but I can't. Like I don't actually have bowstring to use it right now. The string was cut.
You don't carry spare string?
No, not right now.
He's also not a bowyer.
Yeah.
It would be different if he was a bowyer. In this case, he's not. He's just an archer. It's something for him to think about in the future, but no. You are unable to command it. You
All
do
right.
feel this wild sense of energy, this almost growth inside of it. It seems like it's got this almost thrumming to it. But it doesn't seem to draw over and create any kind of cord or cable to attach to itself. It is something that you will have to string as well. But as you can recall, this particular bow is, I mean, it's a staff first and foremost.
Yeah.
Secondly, in order to turn it into a bow like how your father had it, it takes insane strength. This is like some Iliad and Odyssey level strength, right? You need to be able to bend the staff down in order to string it.
Alrighty. Okay, that's no problem. But yeah, as everyone starts coming to, I'll start speaking to them. Everyone, if you're able to stand, please do so. Help the others that are still unconscious or weary. I have help coming in just a moment, so please be patient until then. I'm taking you back to the Citadel as soon as I can. Me and my friends here will help you if there's any help that need be required.
They just kind of look on, and they see you, and some of them, you see them kind of stretch out their hands because they remember you, but they kind of look out where they are, and they're not really gathering. Like it seems like the memory of what's just happened is missing. They don't remember the fight. They don't understand what is happening. It's strange to them. And remember, you've only been gone a short couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that strange for them to see you, but they left the Citadel, and you can overhear some of them saying, like, the last thing I remember is the fires at the Citadel, and the screams, and then we're here. And you see them getting more and more anxious at the situation around them. You can tell that if you don't have a way to immediately calm them, it may devolve into hysteria.
Yeah. Seeing as they're becoming restless, I'll put my hand up. Please calm down. I understand a lot of you have questions. There has been an incident that has transpired at the Citadel, but we have remedied that situation as of right now. One of our own apparently has betrayed us.
Give me, as you're doing this, give me a diplomacy, please. Let's see what you got. Maybe a skill that he doesn't have a plus 57 to.
Yeah.
Hey! Wow, that's, we actually see where your strengths are.
He is not a charismatic bugbear.
You know that you have been trained your entire life to hunt, to proactively hide, to be unseen, and when it comes to speaking to people, you're used to this almost negative reproach, right? Like you're used to people kind of biting back or being weary of you because you're not human blood, right? you are goblinoid. So you've never really focused on that. You're struggling with it. It's not coming out. It's not coming out very smooth. People are not reacting to it. You're hardly even getting over their sound. Deia, Jerrod, you can overhear the sound of the people. They're getting audibly quite loud.
I'm gonna step forward and say, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, please calm down. I assure you, we will have the situation under control. It's gonna take a bit of time. Just don't panic. At the disco.
At the disco?
Don't panic at the disco.
You're fired, Annie. They seem to know, like, oh, we shouldn't panic, but where are we? Where are these people? Where is this person? They keep saying over and over again, like, where is this person? What's happened? Where's Ebron? Where's Balthar? Where are these people? What's happened to the Citadel? Anything?
Please calm down. We will tell you in just a moment. I need to get you back to the Citadel first. Everyone, please be patient.
As for Jerrod, he's got nothing. He's just kind of watching all this, just arms doubled over the crossguard of his sword, and just like, well, he just can't talk.
I mean, you can interject.
Oh, these aren't his people. He's got no interest in interjecting. And watching Balthar Porky Pig this is just wonderful.
I'm still looking up to make sure that the rock is coming around, so that way we can at least start getting people back to the Citadel if we can.
Okay. They will not resist you in this regard. They want to go back to the Citadel. I mean, it's their home. It's all they've ever known.
Yeah.
So when you tell them, especially being as who you are, they're a little apprehensive, especially since Ebron was way more well received. I mean, he was clearly the handsome one, the prodigal son. And then there's you, this goblinoid, who was actually the adopted favored child. And you keep saying, I'll take you back. This is fine. And apprehension at first, but they seem to kind of settle into it. And they'll mount up. They are prepared to make the trek. Are you going to walk them back, or would you, per se, try to acquire the assistance of the rock? You gonna go Airbus style?
Yeah, I would prefer Airbus, because traveling through the swamp with giants on our heels is not something I want to have them go through.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
It'll be fine. We can take giants.
And they're already worn enough, so I don't want to risk them collapsing due to exhaustion or anything like that.
All right. Okay. So it's going to take a few before she eventually cycles back around, Wart, with the largest rock you've ever seen in your life. Before inevitably, upon seeing the death of the boar and the combat ending, she'll drop down. She'll bring the rock down. It's going to frighten the people a great deal. A huge amount.
Yeah. As it starts making its descent, I'll tell her when I'm like, calm down. This is an ally. Please, settle down.
Okay. Inevitably, that they will respond positively in that sense. They'll give you that opportunity to kind of take control of the situation. They'll calm down, especially when they see they're not getting picked off by the giant bird, right? Like, they're not becoming a meal, so they're like, okay, all right, all we can do is trust this bugbear that we've known our entire lives. It's never done any wrong to us. Like, they're kind of, it's a stressful situation, all things considered.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Wart will dismount. She drops what looks to be some kind of shoddy rope ladder, and she dismounts to see you. She's still wearing her quote-unquote flight gear that looks like it was shattered glass that was roped into some vines for her own type of goggles of sorts.
As she makes her way down, I'll meet up with her. I retrieved Gaia's limb.
Oh, good. What? Well, who are these people? What?
These are inhabitants of the Citadel. I need to get them back. Can you help us?
Wait, you expect me to take all of them back?
Yes, please.
But how will I know that they won't hurt her? And she kind of nods up and keys over to the others, or to the bird.
They won't. They're scared and they're disoriented right now. I just want to get them back somewhere safe, please. I've done what you've asked.
Yeah, do they have anything? Do they have any belongings?
Looking around, I'm assuming not, right? Just whatever they are wearing.
No. They seem to mostly be in robes. They were, any opportunity of them fighting against Ebron, it would have been removed pretty much immediately.
All right, so I'll just kind of shake my head like, no, they don't have anything.
Okay, all right. Wart kind of moves over, and she seems to place herself nearest to the ground on the right foot of this enormous rock, and she seems to be kind of humming, speaking to the bird, and just kind of consoling it, bringing down some of its anxiety in the situation. It's not every day that it's right. Put yourselves in the situation of the rock. You live on top of a ridge. You are the prime apex predator, and seldomly someone comes to mount you to fly you hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, and there's really not much that you can say and or do about that. You just kind of have to run with it.
And now that person wants to put 20 people on your back.
Yeah, 20, 30 people on your back, and it's going to represent a bit of a challenge. That being said, she's more than prepared to acclimate in this situation, but it's going to take some goading.
Yeah, I know there's quite a few of them. If we have to, we could, if you're okay with it, make multiple trips so as not to overwhelm your friend here.
No, it's fine. They can all come upon. But they can't pick. Don't touch anything. Don't pull at the feathers. Leave me be.
Very well.
Once we arrive, you'll have them dismount. Go back.
Of course. Balthar turns around and he'll start informing them that not to poke and prod at the rock. Take their time getting on, and don't bother the goblin woman who's assisting us.
Don't piss off the driver. Seems kind of...
After doing that, I guess I'll have them start lining up single file so that way they can each start climbing up to get on the rock.
Okay. With a little bit of effort, they will mount the enormous bird. Right? They'll climb up and be on their way. And this is where you guys will you'll kind of get a glimpse of everyone just kind of following in the line. You very clearly see what it's like to have some form of leadership in this situation, and it's different, right? It's what your father did for so long that it almost feels second nature to you, but you know how imperative it is to leave this instrument inside of the Citadel. Now, it's something I feel like I must beckon. What does Balthar do? Does Balthar stay at the Citadel with his people? Or does Balthar leave this legendary weapon at the Citadel? Does he take it with him? Does he say, F the Citadel, it's old, it's dated, the wardens are no more, I'm all that remains?
No, the fact that there's still people here, he wouldn't do that. And like he's pointed out before, the fact that the Citadel is essentially a front line to the Cauldron itself. So that way, if whatever evils that are lurking out there don't go breaking in, and vice versa, whatever evils like the vampires and stuff that are in there don't come bursting out into the forest. So I mean, realistically, I mean, he can't leave a bunch of disoriented and injured people. And on top of that, he has Ithrini in there who's blind and mute now because of what everyone did to him.
Okay. It's certainly something that you can talk with your allies about. Guys, are you going to be riding up on top of the rock as well?
Yes. I don't want to face having to go through the gator pits.
Yeah, and I doubt that the rock's going to let me just go ahead and, like, hop on a claw and strap myself in.
Sure. Okay. All right. That's perfect. So, you guys we're going to go ahead and express travel at this point. She's going to take you guys back there with exceptional speed. You know that it will take upwards of 2 hours, just because it took a great amount of time to get here, and then an hour by giant running, if you recall, being in the long flowing braids of our giant friend.
Yes.
I still need a bath after that.
Oh, that's that's super good. Guys, if we could take a second here. I wanted to thank all of you guys for coming out, showing the love and support. If you didn't know, I was just partnered with Humble Bundle. I'm very, very happy about that. It's another step, another milestone in the success of this channel. And if you guys haven't yet, do yourselves a favor and follow Bloody faster. Bloody is an excellent caster. She's my sister from another mister. And I love her face. She gives the best hugs. Exceptional, I will say exceptional hugs for someone of her size. I know, I'm going to be sizist here, but I will say that she did give the wildest hug at all of TwitchCon. She literally placed all of her things off of her person and ran and sprung into the air, wrapping herself around my chest. It was odd, but it was so sweet at the same time. It was so sweet, and it was just great to finally get to hug her. And I hope next year we can somehow, like, maybe we can do the Dirty Dancing thing where you spring into the air and I lift you up by your hips.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call bullshit here. There's no way that Bloody can jump high enough.
I mean, I could get low enough.
You are a bit of a mountain.
I could get low enough. I could Patrick Swayze this. Jesus, man. Come on, I've been lifting.
Well, it's not that. It's just that she's really, really short. You're really, really tall.
See this?
Heck, you could one-hand pounce her on top.
Short girl's got ups, dude.
She does. She's got ups. True. Oh, man. Prove him wrong. See, this is...
Greek girls can't jump.
This is it. Bloody. All right, this is it. TwitchCon 2018. TwitchCon 2018. You gotta work. You gotta work on your vertical game. All right. You gotta work on your
3.5. She fights you for that half inch.
You gotta work on that vertical game, and I am going to start practicing lifting women over my head. I am gonna start practicing just lifting women directly over my head. I don't know what I'm gonna do once they're there, but it's perfect. This could be a memory.
Yeah, you just got to go ahead and start benching Tony.
Tony's a big dude. I don't know if that's going to happen. Tony's like 280 pounds of solid muscle.
Yeah, which means Bloody'd be nothing.
Yeah, like, I could just pick her up with a finger, just and balance her straight up, right across. She's super small. She's super small. You saw the picture, right? Like, you saw the picture of me and Bloody together?
No, actually. We didn't see any pictures from TwitchCon. Except for that
No.
one.
I totally did. I totally showed everyone all of the pictures.
You showed a ton of pictures. I don't think you showed any with Bloody, though.
What?
I definitely saw it.
Funny, I only got
Did you?
one picture of you on Twitter.
No, he showed a bunch of them on stream after. On that Thursday when he came back. He showed a shit ton of photos. You might have shown one of Bloody, but I don't remember it. I remember one of Libido. I remember one of Panic.
She was wearing like a yellow shirt or something like that.
Yeah, Libido. You know, Libido Jr.
Hold on. I've got it right here. I'm gonna fucking. This is coming up on stream because somehow we missed it. Image.
Yeah, you had a picture.
I mean, you have to forgive Sniper. He's getting up there in the years, and his memory's starting to fade.
No, I wasn't here for when he was showing off the photos.
Fucking rude, man. Where is it at? You're right up... There you are. There you are. I can spot me in every picture, but I can't fucking spot the caster next to me.
Well, again, she's awful small.
There we go. That's Bloody, guys. Right there. If you look, like... I know it's difficult to see it, but if you look, she's actually standing on her tippy toes in the picture.
Aww.
Ho, 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 who's this?
Oh, man. Leblinsky, what's going on, man? Thank you so much. Hey, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out. You were definitely standing on your tippy toes in the picture. But
she's
then
still
again,
pretty tall, though. I mean, even on her tiptoes, like that's not that much height being added to it.
So is 5'4" tall?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's
No.
not short.
It is.
I mean,
it's average height for a woman. It's average height for a woman.
It's like she said, Bub. She just wanted to be closer
She's
to your
only a
face.
couple inches away from being clinically classified as a midget.
Wanted to be a couple inches closer to my face. She looks like, in this situation, she could have just like reached out. Just if she would have leaned in just a little bit more and bit down, she would have torn my nipple off. Just like right there, just gone. It just would have been MIA. MIA, no nipple found. But yeah, Bloody was absolutely. It was wonderful. She was super pleasant. Lobos was awesome. It was great. He's the only caster that I stood in line for, because I didn't know when Bloody's was, and when I found out when hers was, I actually missed it by like an hour. But I stood in Lobos' line, and when I stepped up, I was just kind of like, I was waiting for like 25 minutes, man. It was fucking. It was awful. Waiting sucks.
Like, hi, I'm a really big fan. Can I get your autograph? And then
Yeah, I actually was like, so as a new starting caster, Mr. Lobos Jr., can I have some advice? What is the one thing you would tell a new caster if he was starting today?
No teeth.
And caster. Caster.
Is the
What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ.
Bub,
Oh, man.
do we really need to ask what's wrong with me anymore?
You're fucking...
You have met me in person. Is there any explanation?
That's how you feel every day? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bloody. I'm sorry. We'll get you back in a game, guys. We'll get you back in a game, Bloody. I promise. Well, I mean, maybe one day. One day. That day can't come soon enough. Next project's in the work. Hopefully. Hopefully everyone that I've asked is 100% down. Sniper, I'm going to need you to calm your nicotine-addicted ass down. Oh, Splodes. This is what happens when you're not here. This is what happens when you're not here. Bloody is optimal hug out. Yeah, she is. What did Lobo say? He said, make sure you are having fun. He said, do it because you enjoy doing it. Don't just pander and don't burn out. Do it because you enjoy doing it. Make sure you're having a good time. So that is that's something that gets lost all too often in streaming. So that's super important. And that goes for anybody else. If you ever find that you want to start streaming, make sure you enjoy what you're doing. Don't do something because you're getting paid to do it. Don't do something because you think it'll make your audience happy. Do it because you love doing it. Because by proxy, they will also love you doing it. Or they won't, and they'll leave, and then you don't really want them in your community anyway, right? If they're just going to bail because you're having a good time, then fuck those guys. They're not important. Splodes, when you come back, if I were to quirk you, do you think you would counter it out of principle? Or will it depend on what I do? It's a good question, Jim. But Bloody, thank you for coming in and subbing. I appreciate that. That's 5 months. That's 5 months, man. We've got our Strim baby coming up in 4, right? I feel like that's much sooner than later. And Soph as well. Thank you very much, Soph. Also, congrats, Bloody, on front page. Again, guys, if you hadn't, do yourselves a favor and follow Bloody faster. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. You will not be let down. Not even in the slightest. Alright. So, you bills biters. Back into it.
Yes.
It's been 2 hours. You have descended from the rock. Wart will drop you back down to the ground. It's not quite nightfall. What do you do?
As everyone starts getting off, I'll start helping them get down, and I'll look over to Wart. It will be getting dark soon. You and your companion should rest here for the night.
No, that's fine. I will be staying in my home with my children. This is no place for babies. And she won't be staying here anyway, and she's my ride. So I'll be off.
Very well. My friends do, however, still need to get to Red Gorge. Would you be able to take them?
We'll come tomorrow. Tomorrow. She's flown enough for the day. She's getting antsy, and I don't want to be food. Surely you wouldn't either.
I understand. And, Madam Wart, I thank you again for everything you've done.
She nods. She kind of throws her hand up like, yeah, go on, whatever. She's not an exceptional individual when it comes to hospitality or welcoming. She's just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I guess that once everyone gets off, I'll jump off the rock as well. Let her be on her way.
Okay. The people will find themselves entering into the fallen citadel, or at least what seems to remain of the citadel. Upon dropping down, you will see that your all too familiar ally and familiar Yulgar will come hopping out. Not too long after, you'll also see that Moishi is on his way. This is Ithranian. Ithranian, as he seems to be following the sounds of your hopping owl, he is greeted by a few of the people that you have returned, but most of them just kind of pass by him. And it doesn't bother Ithranian because, well, one, he can't see. Two, you reflect almost entirely on this situation because this is what it was like for you as well. People more often than not would pass by you. They would pass over you without a second glance, a second thought. You weren't immediately important. Yulgar will hop up to you, and he gets right next to your leg, and then he kind of just stares around before he begins tugging at the lower half of your armors.
Hey, easy, friend, easy. I'll pick him up and I'll let him perch up on my shoulder.
Okay.
Come on.
One wing will extend and flap a few times before he inevitably will calm back down. Ithranian, using what appears to be some... looks like a snapped... the string has been snapped on a bow, and he's using it as a walking stick. He's basically like guiding himself along, but he's very clumsy, as it seems to hit various stones. Things that are preventing him. Roots are weaved upward, and it's preventing him from walking forward. So he carefully moves, eventually slowing down, but then picking back up in pace. By the time he arrives, he begins attempting to speak. You hear a bit more clarity in his tone, but he's still struggling since his tongue has been removed. Enunciation is quite difficult when you're missing that much of your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So he extends a hand outward.
I'll extend my hand out to him.
Okay. As he sees you, well, experiences you, he kind of drops the stick down and moves in to where he feels he's closest to Yulgar. It appears that they have kind of taken to each other in the short time that they've been alone, which has only been mostly 2 days.
Yeah, that's still a lot of time.
Yeah.
Kind of seeing that, I'll look to Yulgar. You want to help your friend? He seems to be having some trouble without you. I guess I'll take him off my shoulder and I'll kind of put him next to Ethrinian. That way he can stay beside him.
Okay, very cool.
After I put him down, Ethrinian, I've completed the task, and you needn't worry. I'll be here to help you out with the coming days. I know it'll be hard to cope with a lot of the things that you've lost, but I feel that you'll gain so much more once you've overcome these trials and have adapted to your new lifestyle.
He seems to kind of like nod at you, since there's not a method of him really. You hear like, okay, right? Like it's not clever, it's not bright, and he's still a child for all intents and purposes. But after you've said his name, he kind of shakes his head. Like there's a small dawdle in his stance, and he kind of shakes his head with a bit of a weakened gait, and he struggles, but he says, Moichi.
You prefer to be called Moishi, then?
He nods.
No problem at all. Alright, Moishi, let us go. I need to take Father's weapon back where it belongs.
Give me a perception, please, the three of you.
Not me, correct?
You have eyes, so yes.
What do your bugbear eyes see? Obviously more than me. Shit, I think your mind's
35?
Sure, yeah. Balthar, it is during the day. Your eyes have certainly acclimated. It's different being that high up in the air, but when you descend, you notice that there's a certain clarity in your vision, so you begin to pick up on things much sharper. Your vision is slightly heightened until everything just kind of like levelates. Remember, you're flying on the back of, it's like you're like on a fucking Airbus, right? You're on this enormous bird way up high in the sky, flying like amidst the clouds, and then it just like dive bombs and drops you off. This isn't as calm as like a 747, where there is a descent and then you wait. You know, you drop down 6,000 feet and then wait 6,000 more feet and then wait. This is pretty much just steep descent and then you're there. So your senses are heightened, and you manage to pick up, not too far from you, it seems like there is an individual that is meandering through this location. This particular person seems to have their face buried in what looks to be a combination of scrolls, what looks to be a map, and also a book is flayed open in their left hand. They're completely unawares to their surroundings.
I'll put my hand on top of Moishi's head. Wait here. And I'm gonna stealth behind him. Is he just kind of like wandering about the compound? Like he just like with his
He's not really, he's not quite in the compound yet, but he's certainly moving in the trail.
Yeah, I'll stealth up and kind of circle around him until I come up behind him.
Yeah, Jerrod's going to go ahead and just kind of glance over at Deia. I really hate when he does that bad stuff.
You want me to roll for stealth?
Deia, you will also witness that he's not trying to hide, but Jerrod, I'm just assuming that you just missed it. It's just far enough out of the way that you were unable to see him. You don't need to stealth. You naturally are so stealthy in the situation that you can take 10 here. He's not awares of his surroundings as keenly as you might be. This is your home, right? Like you know this place. So you know all of the places to hide, all the places to pop out at, the right steps to descend upon, the sticks to miss, you know all of this stuff. This isn't strange for you. You're in a home element. You're going to get a bonus to this. But you find as you move in, he seems to be unnaturally cheery. There's a certain amount of cheer about his character. Briefly, when the map falls, he seems to almost be like in a state of thinking, but he's smiling.
As he looks up, I'll take Gaia's limb and I'll place it just below his neck and tell him, stop moving.
Sunn, where you stop, you have been moving, you've been traveling through these woods for a while now. You're on a mission. I don't know what was going on. Your mic sounds like booty. But you can listen in the meantime. You're on a mission. You don't know exactly where you're going, but you know you have at least some idea of what you're looking at, someone that you're looking for, or at least something. And you stumble upon a compound, and you've been stopped by someone, a guardian of sorts, a watcher, a warden in this case. And he has placed what appears to be some kind of very natural stick abrasively across your neck. And he says it out loud. Go ahead, floor is yours, both of you guys.
Don't move. Who are you?
My name is Sunn. I'm a traveling doctor. Is there anything wrong here?
Yes, there's quite a bit wrong, but that doesn't explain how you got here. Finding this location is difficult for those who don't know the way.
Sunn, you notice that his hostility is heightened. You can also see the copious amount of blood on his person. So it's warranting a response. How do you handle it?
After looking him up and down and noticing the blood, I'm assuming my hands are going to be up after he put his weapon to my neck, and I'm going to say, can you lower this, please? I'm a man of medicine, not of battle.
Give me a perception here in this, or sense motive, Balthar, please.
Yeah.
Jerrod, Deia, at this point, Deia, you would have picked up on this information much sooner as well, but Jerrod, you would have also perceived this not too long after the fact.
Also, I'm going to put the picture in Discord, so you guys know what you're looking at.
Sounds good. Okay, Balthar, his disposition is less than hostile. It does not appear that he's hiding anything. There is no malicious intentions about his person. He legitimately seems almost as if he's just passing through.
Getting that vibe off of him, I'll pull the staff away. Sorry about the introduction, but I had to be sure that you weren't an enemy of ours.
Yeah, tough times. I'm going to pull out my map, and I'm going to say, so you said I'm not supposed to be here. Where's Cauldron? That's what I'm looking for.
Balthar, you see his map is a little outdated. It doesn't seem to have the information regarding the Warden's citadel. And you note that the geographical point on the map that would allocate the direction, or at least the location, of Cauldron isn't really correct. It just seems like it's been based in a series of mountains, and not that it's in the caldera of a volcano.
Having knowledge of geography, could I kind of just start like helping them correct like the distance and stuff, like where was this like the locations would be at from at least the spots that I know?
Yeah, you can assist him. You can tell him these things.
Doing that, I would go, look, this is where you're at right here, Cauldron, and sliding my hand upward like to the left a little bit. Cauldron is here. The map that you have isn't as detailed. It's off by, and like I kind of like redo the little like distance meter. Each step you've been taking has been at least 3 to maybe 4 miles off.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you use old maps. I got this from my house before I left my family. It's been quite a while. I should probably buy another one. I'm going to roll it up and put it in my backpack.
I can probably scrounge for another one on the inside. But you have come a long way, so to turn you away now would be rude of me. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Sunn. My name is Balthar Sorensen of the Wardens.
I will hold my hand out and say, glad to meet your acquaintance. You, seem a little bloody there. Is there anything I can help with?
I am fine. I will manage this. A lot of this is not my own, but from other creatures.
Bub, I can see the rest of them, right?
It's at this point, yeah, that you would probably see them walking. Various individuals. It's probably not likely that you would have encountered a bugbear, at least in such a positive or accepting nature.
Yeah.
And his allies at this point, one seems to be a human male. He's seen better days. He borderline looks like a cartoon character with all of the additional equipment on his person, and the fact that most of his armor, or at least some of the visible armor, is quite literally fused to his body.
Do I notice the giant hole in his side?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not... You could take 10 on that one.
With the amount of potions that he took and the healing that had happened, you can tell that it is divine in nature, but the interesting thing about it is skin doesn't immediately function the same way from divine healing as it does from a natural heal, from a very natural, like, alchemical heal or holistic healing. So it kind of looks like, for lack of better terminology, it looks like a puckered butthole.
You might be fine. I can notice the blood, and you'll probably... It looks like a few cuts and scrapes, but, you there in the back. You, seem to be having a second hole.
What? Forget the other holes.
This over here is, Jerrod Skellerang, and I'll point to Jerrod, and this over here is a new companion of ours by the name of Deia.
Yes, I won't be needing your healing, but I appreciate the gesture.
I will, cordially walk around and shake everyone's hand, give them a nice smile, and say, well, I'm glad to meet all of you. You all seem to know where Cauldron is. Do you guys happen to be traveling there as well?
Cauldron? Well, yes, we do plan to go back there eventually.
Oh, shit. Excuse me.
But it'll be a bit of a wait. We have errands to run over in Red Gorge.
Yeah, you are a little quiet. I'm not sure why. Let me see if I can turn you up on my end. There's something that's going on.
I have it on push to talk. Mic sensitivity or mic pickup might be...
Oh, it's because I've got you at 30%.
Yeah, that'll do that.
Talk for me now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's much better.
Don't put me in the spot like that. I can't make up words.
I see that you guys might be on some kind of errand at this point, but...
Two things happen. As you begin describing his puckered chest hole, two things happen. One, you hear this almost like ear-piercing shrill screech from a large avian creature as you hear like the bleeding of a wing, like... As you see that this enormous rock takes flight from its location. As this is happening, it's kicking up all of the wind around you. Like, it's kicking up dirt, debris, and you see this, well, for lack of a better term again, it's a giant fucking bird flying away from here. This, like, it's clearly much larger than some small villages you've crossed in its path.
It's basically like the helicopter moving its blades, and everything around is just basically like having the wind affecting it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Probably stumbling back a bit, I'd say, well, I'm gonna hope that bird is yours.
No.
You don't necessarily own a rock.
It's one of our friends.
Friends?
Yes,
we
Jerrod.
broke it, and it hasn't eaten us yet, so I would consider it a friend as well.
But please, we're delaying too much, keeping you outside in the cold. Come in. I'm about to try to get this place fixed as best I can.
Well, since you're being so hospitable, how could I say no? I will,
Also, if you
gladly-
can, you said you're a doctor. I do have a lot of people that are in there that are not feeling well or still rattled. If you have sedatives to help them ease any pain or any ailments.
I feel
Yeah.
like it is also important to note that in the place of the rock leaving, it seems as if a pine wooden door has fallen to the earth and is standing lone. It stands still in the middle of the woods.
I turn to Balthar and say, like as I'm walking in, do birds drop doors now?
It could have picked one up on a possible sweep of a village. I don't know.
It's a local thing.
Oh,
You are, after all, close to Cauldron.
huh. Well, I'm gonna get to work on these patients. I'll come bother you when I'm done.
And,
I thank you again for your help.
And,
And,
Sunn.
By the way, you there, Jerrod,
Yes?
come see me, unless you want that hold to be permanent.
No, I'd rather just have the number of holes that the gods built me with. So, yeah, Balthar called you a physician?
Yeah, I'm a healer of sorts.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
with, potions?
I'm gonna look at him and say, why do you look weird when you say that? Or
Oh, bully to you too. You look weird to me.
I
He
mean,
always looks weird. It's just him.
oh, well,
Sunn, he seems to be eyeing your person because you do have a bit of like a bandolier of small-sized potion vials.
oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm,
Jerrod, this is your ideal hangout, right? So like you see this guy and it's like, what are you buying? What are you selling?
welcome!
Welcome, stranger.
You bought that at a great price.
He's got potions. He's got little doodads, doosker doos, doosker don'ts, whisker pixies. Like he's covered, right? There are potion vials all over his person.
Also,
If
So
something-
in other words,
Bob.
Jared's not just going to be filleting doorknobs anymore.
by the way, Bub, something for you to know.
Okay.
In the equipment tab, there are vials made out of iron.
Yes, there are.
So I am not carrying that many glass bottles.
They are more expensive than glass.
No, they were definitely more expensive, but
they don't
hopefully
they
when
don't
I
break
get-
as easily.
Yeah, when I get pushed over by a light breeze, hopefully I won't become a walking spill.
Right.
So
As they're talking, I'll pick up Moshi and Yulgar and I'll take them inside to Balthar's room.
Okay.
So that way they can rest up, and then I'll start making my way to the war room where my father's body is.
Okay.
Jim, to clarify something, Kimia was just a drug drinking fucking hobo on the streets, basically. It was just random
was-
guy walking around.
Essentially a really uncool, shitty Rufio.
Bangarang!
Yeah.
But upon basically talking to Sniper and him eyeing me up and down, I'm gonna go attend to the people who need help, while also lighting Healmer around the area, which it just kind of like it's like the UV lights in a hospital. It kind of cleans the air, it's bacteria and all that shit.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Jared's just going to hang with Sunn.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
I'm just gonna
Hey,
attend to the
buddy.
wounded.
Pal.
Jerrod, you see that he has a bit of a flair for this this kind of work. He takes it very seriously. There are certain methods to his madness, clearly, and it seems like he's almost sterilizing the area, creating like a very small triage center of sorts. And he's got like special candles. He has incense that he burns. He's light out very specific tools.
He
And
just needs to buy the drink. That's all I ask.
Are there
Candles, incense. Oh my god.
there were kids that were in this group, right?
yeah. In the first one that will be brought to you, It appears to be a boy, probably about 11 or 12 years old. He says his name is Moichi. Balthar.
Seeing as Moishi's having trouble understanding or trouble talking, I'll look to Sunn. His name's Moishi.
Out of character, was this the blind one?
Yes. This is the kid that had his eyes, a blade was drawn across them from temple to temple, and his tongue was removed. Yes.
Yeah. I'll kind of remove the bandages from, or the bandana from around his eyes to show him the cut, and then I'll look at Moishi. Moishi, show him the wound to your tongue.
He looks to you for a moment, and when he kind of he feels your face, he makes sure there's obviously a distance between you two, but he wants you to see. He opens his mouth and he tries to stick out his tongue, and you see that there is a very prominent stump, and he gives you the scissors motion, right? And it's just, there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm. Sadly, I do not think I can grow back such things. I cannot return your eyesight, but I can at least keep you in good health.
Thank you. If whatever you can do to alleviate the scarring or any pain that he might be feeling, that'll be greatly appreciated.
You said, how tall is he again? He's small, right? Small child?
Yeah, 11, 12-year-old kid.
Yeah,
He's like the 11 or 12-year-old human age, but he's an elf. He's a mountain elf.
Probably 30.
Yeah.
But he's not fucking over 5 foot, is he?
No. He's not. He's looks ideally like an 11 or 12-year-old human male.
What I thought. So I'm gonna kind of crouch, get on one knee, and knowing that he can't see, I'm going to grab his hands. I'm going to pull from my backpack a set of dominoes and put it in his hand and say, "Look, this might not do much for you, but I try to find that keeping myself busy helps. So, if you can get any use out of these, feel free."
You can see, while injured and his eyes seem to be puffy and swollen, they seem to be kind of darting back and forth around the room. That there is you believe that there is some sensitivity in his eyes. It could be to light. It could just be to the change in material in the room. Obviously, with you burning this incense and these particular candles, it's going to create some kind of sensitivity to someone who is so akin to a different kind of environment. But you see his eyes reacting to the light to some degree. And when you say that, you're like, "Look, kid, usually I try to keep my hands busy." He nods, and he wants to say something. You can tell. His lips are attempting to move, and he tries to make some noise, but nothing's really coming out other than gurgles and glows. So he just whistles.
Give him a good pat on the head. Not super rapidly, but just a little, yeah. I'm gonna turn to Balthar. So who would do this to a child?
It's a long story, but they've been dealt with accordingly.
Well, I'm gonna have plenty of time while I mend some of these wounds for these villagers. If you'd care to tell me, I have plenty of time, and I'm going to slowly start working on more and more people.
I'll give him a nod, and then I'll look to Yolgar. Be careful with Moishi. I don't want you two getting into trouble while he's helping you, while this doctor's helping you out. And I'll take my leave. Like I said, making my way back to the war room where my father was at.
Yulgar's head will turn. He'll kind of scope out the surroundings, and as you leave, you hear that. As you head back to the war room, the quote-unquote war room, you see that the figure that once was your father, this wooden humanid shape that was bound to the predominant chair, it seems as if it's lost tangible shape, and it's now just sort of become part of the chair. It's created this wild, almost wicker-like lattice that seems to decorate this chair itself. The clothing that your father dressed in seems to line some of these thatches, right? Like it seems to run between and betwixt the thatch itself, like it's been weaved in and grown around.
Oh, so like it's like, so his form's essentially melded with the chair, and then it's added to the design of the chair itself.
Yeah.
Is what happened? Okay.
Yes.
Placing my hand on the arm of the chair, I'll whisper.
Give me perception first.
$32.
Seeing that there's not really much in the way of, there's not exactly a telephone, right? There's not a way like 1-800 call dad. You look for something that would help you communicate. And since your father's gone, obviously you're not going to be able to put your hand back on him and speak the way that you had previously.
Yeah, no, I was kind of just uttering that kind of just like to, I guess, appease myself,
Sure. But you will note that in the table itself, which you can't really recall much before, and it's something that you didn't see previously, where your father had been, his left arm, there seems to be some grooves in the table. Like it's warped from years of someone placing their hand in the same spot and rubbing their fingers against the wood itself. Like have you ever seen where like a monk will stand in the same spot for years and years over time?
Oh, and like it indents slowly?
Yes. That's kind of what this is like, but it's your father's hand.
Kind of looking at that, I'll take a seat in the chair and kind of lean in closer to it, and like I'll place my hand over it as well.
It's there that you see, like, you never really saw really how large or how strong your father actually was, despite him not being your biological father, despite him being an entirely different race. Even in his old age, he was still a very physical, prominent force. And when you place your hand over the indentation in the wood, it's the same size. You're teetering on a size category larger. And your father's hands are the same size as yours.
Kind of scoff to myself. Always a man of stature, aren't you?
You hear the wood begin to creak and moan around you. It's at that point that you realize that something is writhing up the staff itself, and it's like it's catching vibration, like it's catching some kind of hum. And from that, you'll see that a very particular lotus will bloom off the central part of the staff. And it was one of your father's favorite flowers. He had showed it to you when you were much younger, when he was trying to explain what it meant to be one with nature, to be one with the natural side of things, to not be about cities and breaking down elements and utilizing them and burning the natural world around you. He showed you that there is beauty in the most simple of things. And from Gaia's limb sprouts that same lily that you feel like you had seen so many years prior.
Seeing that, I'll turn the staff closer over to me so I can just kind of look at the flower itself for a couple of moments.
Give me a perception, please.
Natural 20.
Very good. You're not really examining, right? Like you're just kind of watching this, and you don't want to trivialize the moment, and you don't want to write this off as just like a passing, right? Like it's not like a passing of torches. But as you seem to watch this flower as it kind of spins to unfold before you and bloom right before you, it's got this beautiful blossom. The lotus itself has a series of what is the word? It's like a central stem, not the not like the stem of the bottom of the flower, but coming from the center of it, right? Like it's what you would see a bee touch to gather pollen.
Yeah.
Well, it's got these quote unquote stems. I can't remember the name. Forgive me, but they seem to stamen. Thank you, Lucy. Stamen. They seem to move in the opposite direction. So where the lotus is blossoming to the left, you see these stamen begin to move, and it's almost as if they wave to you.
I'll kind of wave back to it, just kind of go. I'll move my hand over to the other side and do the same thing. See if that changes anything.
Nothing happens. You will see, as you have placed the staff upon the table and you're eyeing this particular lotus, that the world around you begins to slowly twist. It slowly turns. Like there is some odd revivification. The world around you begins to grow. It begins to blossom. You see the magmatic movement from the almost crippled and burnt leaves that surrounded the citadel itself begin to unwilt like a recent rain had struck them. And as they grow back in color and size, the speed begins to pick up. As the wood begins to unknot, the burning begins to self-mend. It seems as if the wood even begins to grow over the fallen glass, and it seems to thatch it several times over with various bits of vine-like wood. The skylight now looks like some kind of hashed checker pattern, waiting for glass to fall back into it, or for someone to drop glass into it, creating a skylight over the table itself. You realize now that Gaia's limb is home, and it can be gone for a while, but not too long.
Yeah. Is it possible to, like, put Gaia's limb in the center of the table and just see if it'll root itself in the center? Kind of like, yeah, like if it can hold itself in its place if I leave it right there.
You don't really see like there's anything to mount it into the center of the table, but that could be arranged obviously as like a paramount point of power inside of this very natural, almost supernatural place. Yeah, this is something that you could arrange, but you can tell that it's obviously meant to be wielded. This is something that was passed upon from someone or something much higher to be goaded and cared, or excuse me, guarded and cared.
Yeah. Seeing everything kind of be restored, I'll get up from the chair and just making sure everything's kind of still regenerating itself. I'll look back at the chair. I'll make you proud, Father. I won't let our legacy, our people, fall again into darkness. And with that, I will head back to the group because I got to give them some info.
Okay, sure. Let's go back to Sunn, Jerrod, and Deia. Deia, what are you doing?
I would be trying to assist in the healing of the group alongside the newfound, doctor, traveling witch doctor.
Are you going to defer to him, or are you trying to take point?
I would be deferring to him.
Okay,
more
sounds
or less
good.
Just kind of helping out with anything that I could, but not expelling any of my magic unless need be.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, this would be just basic healing.
Jerrod, how about yourself?
Jared's just sitting watching over both of them, just all that healing going on, all them potions. That's the man.
All right, Sunn, the floor is yours. You're going to have probably 5 to 10 minutes before you'll see any kind of response from Balthar. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, no, I would what was the exact population density?
At this place, there is currently 30 living residents of a once vastly booming community.
Are all of them injured, or is it
No.
like a half-half?
No, this is like ER. You've got red tags, you've got yellow tags, green tags.
That's what I'm thinking.
In this case, there are some people that have minor injuries. Then you have people that are red tag, like Moishi. Moishi's obviously in a significantly worse situation than some of the others. Others may have like slice wounds, but those are partial. And
I have a question for you for a meta reason. Because I'm missing a level 3 spell from my sheet. And one of the level 3s happens to be exactly what Karami said, the remove blindness / deafness. I don't know if you want to let me take that, because with that I could cure Moishi. But it's at that point where I should have had it before the game. So I don't know if you wanted to do it.
Let me take a look. Let me see.
I can link it to you if you want.
Oh,
but this is just like a meta, like, because now I know that this spell could be useful right this second. Am I allowed to take it? Because I don't know if I personally would have taken it before this situation. But after looking at the spells, there's nothing really else that I would want.
I don't think you would have prepared this. Like, there was no way of you knowing previously. It just wouldn't make sense for your character.
That's what I was thinking.
Target creature touch duration is instantaneous. Saving fortitude negates if for harmless. Gotcha. Let's see. Whether the effect is normal or magical in nature, the spell does not restore ears or eyes that have been lost, but it repairs them if they are damaged. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if I'm allowed to take that. But if you think that I wouldn't have it, then I'm just not.
I think it would be a far shot of you to have that particular spell.
That's what I was thinking.
Now in the future, maybe, but this particular moment, I don't think so.
At this point, I would just be trying to heal everyone. Using basic heal checks. I don't really want to expend potions unless someone's really injured.
Okay.
And even like in someone like Moshi's case, like you said, the red tags, my potions won't really cure him, whereas he would just need medical attention.
Sure.
So I can roll heal checks if you want, but I'd just be walking around healing at this point.
Well, if they got 5 minutes to kill, at least, man, Jerrod's probably going to be watching Sunn hard at work. Deia, of course, is just being a bitch per usual.
At work, not hard at work, just at work.
Don't take it. No, then he'd kind of look over Sunn's way. So why exactly are you going to Cauldron again?
Oh, well, So I'm a traveling healer. I've struck out from my home in an attempt to learn more about, healing ways. And I've actually heard that Cauldron needs somewhat of my talents, and better yet, I've heard that there was a shop for sale.
Well, I won't say you're wrong. My city does need every worthwhile healer they can get.
Oh, so you're from there?
Yes, I'm actually one of the original families of Cauldron.
Oh, that's...
I do also want to point out, found you wandering.
I actually didn't hear that last part.
I didn't either.
I do want to just point out, we did find you wandering lost in the middle of the woods.
Oh, yeah, no, I kind of just wander, and when I make it to a village, I make it to a village. It's... You never know when people need help at this point.
Doesn't exactly sell you well on competency, but I suppose it did work out today.
I'm gonna pull out my map and say, yeah, when I get a new map, might be better at directions, but don't hold me to that. However, with a scalpel and my herbs, I can heal most anything. Circumstances prevailing.
As it happens, as you've noticed, I tend to find myself in need of somebody with your specific skill set quite often.
Oh yeah, with the armor and that big sword, I can tell that you're not exactly a person who likes to stay away from a fight.
Guilty as charged. What if I could make you a bit of a deal?
I'm all ears.
That's terrifying.
Is it
Shut your
briefcase
whore mouth.
number 16?
I just got that joke. I'm sorry. Okay, Howie Mandel. No. Myself, I am going to Red Gorge, but then I plan to go expressly back to Cauldron as quickly as possible. And if you don't mind the slight delay, I'd be more than happy to go ahead and have your company along. A man of your skill set could be of some worth, and in doing so, being as my family is one of the founding families, I would be more than happy to go ahead and speak with my brother on your behalf and see if perhaps you may have preferential treatment when it comes to the shops. As it stands, last I left, there were a few shops that were bereft of owners.
Oh, it's good. It means that I have a place to set up shop.
Exactly.
How immediate is your journey to this Red Gorge place? I'm gonna actually open up my map and try to find it on the map. And I'm assuming since you said it's a really old map, it's just not gonna be on there.
I mean, it's an old map, but Red Gorge is among one of the earlier towns.
Okay, so do you think it would be on the map? For reference, this map would be roughly...
Well, as I understand it, Red Gorge is a bit of a mining town as well.
it would be a little bit under 30 years old at this point.
Red
And that's
Gorge
just from when I left.
is a mining town, but it was also a place of export, where obviously with a mining town they were exporting things via wagon, but they were trying to turn the town into more than just that. It was supposed to be more than just that kind of town. You don't really know what that means, what they intended on doing with it, but it is noted on your map, given the location, that each area has a primary yield, things that they wanted to, they were either trying to expressly remove from the city via export, or they were trying to build upon in point. And one of those things would be like intelligence. So they dignify it with like book, right? Like it's just a small book, a bound book icon. And on your map, Red Gorge is marked with that. So they might have a pretty prominent library, or at least they did at some point. Or there are historians there. Maybe it could lead to cartographers or geographers, that kind of thing.
And then the first question would have been, how immediate is your journey on getting there?
It's going to be fairly immediate. I have some personal business there that does involve some life and limb that I'm going to be seeing to, and the rock that you may have saw earlier today is going to be our transportation, so I suspect we'll be there within the next 2 or 3 days.
I'm gonna lean over and say, the rock is the bird, by the way.
I'm gonna do a quick thank you. I was about to ask, actually.
Yes.
And then
The rock is the bird. The bird is the word.
I wanna. Is it okay? Do I have to roll for it? I just want to scan over the injured and see the volume of how many people are injured, how long, in my professional opinion, it would take for me to get everyone at least to a moderately healthy state.
You think outside of the very obvious
red cases,
you should be able to get through the rest of these people in the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Well, I'm not really in any particular rush. I don't see why I wouldn't go. Answer me this, though.
Mm-hmm.
How likely am I to die going here?
Not very likely. I happen to have a good history of defending my compatriots. We did just have one pass away earlier today, and it's a bit of a tender subject. He was he was a man of my ilk, if that makes sense.
I would have started laughing when he said, I think I can defend my compatriots.
I haven't lost one yet
today, and he died.
Wait, hold on.
One just keeps coming back.
I've been
Wipes it out.
For 2 weeks. We got into one fight, and this
Quick,
friend died, so.
quick question: did any of you grab Horum's corpse off of Cicada's corpse?
Yeah. I'm the one that's carrying Horum's corpse.
We'll point that and say, "Are you sure about that?"
Good history of defending compatriots until he has to make a will save.
That's what.
True.
I like what Slav said. 2 people dying within 48 hours. I don't know that as Sunn, so
it's been a rough trip, but you're not likely to die. This is, as I said, personal familial business, not seeing in Red.
I will flash him and smile and say, "Well, I got nowhere to be outside from here, so I'll tag along with you guys." And
Excellent.
I'm going to
sure-
hurry back on to fixing.
Yes, I'm sure you and your potions will be a welcome addition to the party. Sweet, sweet potions.
What was that?
Oh, I've just said you and your skills are going to be welcome.
Ah, thank you. I'm going to continue.
All right, Balthar, you'll be returning at about this time. They seem to be discussing something about traveling together, or at least in the near future. And he asks, as you enter into the fray, "What's the likelihood of me dying?" And you can't seem to garner a very obvious answer from Jerrod. He's like,
super low. We've only lost like one guy earlier today, but he was like,
he quickly diverts. He turns tail on the subject. He's like, the chances are, hey, look, that guy's got an owl.
Good, all of you are here. I'm glad that you're doing well, and I cannot thank you again, good doctor, for helping my people.
Look, just making sure that everyone's back to full. It's enough of a reward for me at this point.
Apparently everyone's a glass jar.
I'm actually pouring their insides into them. It's how it works. Trust me, I'm a healer. I got this.
So, I've heard that you're going to be traveling with my compatriots pretty soon.
Yeah, according to the big man over there, you guys are going to Red Gorge. So,
yes.
I feel
about that. Not we, but they, along with you, will be going to Red Gorge.
Are you not coming along?
I do not think so, unfortunately. My people here, we have suffered many losses, and I cannot leave the Citadel in the state that it is in.
Have you,
in time, given the next few days or so, it should be back to a better state than it was.
Well, I can't say as I blame you. I mean, it was your, for all intents and purposes, father who passed away, and as you know, I understand the importance of legacy.
It is not something that I wish to do, but I will still hold true to my part and make sure you are taken to Red Gorge in a timely manner.
A wise move.
Looking around, is the Citadel on the outside, like from where I'm at, is it still restoring as well? Or was it just a room that it started off in and kind of slowly growing into that portion of the rest of the Citadel?
It's starting to grow back all the way around. It's a font of power, right? So it's one of those things where the surroundings would have to play catch up. How could I not expect Balthar to stay? I didn't feel like his sense of duty was as strong as his desire, but I suppose losing 2 comrades would have done that. I just thought that he would have found reasons. I feel like he would have found reasons, at least one reason to stick around for a short time. That particular reason would be Klaus. If anything else, Klaus.
Even right now, though, like, Klaus can't move. That's the thing. So I need to make sure that he's still going to be okay. I do apologize, though,
Okay.
for departing.